Okay, here we are. Good morning. When we left off yesterday, I had proceeded to put all my pistons together and clips and get them all ready to go. I've already done one side. As you can see, I have 4 of my pistons installed. I don't torque my engine until we're done. That's just the way I do it. I'm not trying to tell you how to do your particular motor. If you feel safe torquing as you go, that's fine. I also set up my second ring, and I filed them, and they're in the boards already pre-fit. Again, this is a fantastic tool if you're going to be building motors. This presets the ring to how far down in the board should go, and then you stick your feeler gauge in, and that's where it should be. Regardless of what kind of gap you're using, again, there's a formula for each engine that you're going to build and a gap procedure. This one happens to be a stock streetlight motor, so I'm running like a 22 on a second and a 20 on the top. You can see I have my total seal ring file here. We dial indicate every ring, so when I set it up and grind it, I should be very close, and if not, then I touch it again. So as we now proceed, I got my bearings in, and again, with bearings, there's an upper and lower on these particular, because these are H series bearings. There's P series bearings that it doesn't matter, no top, no bottom. They just go in the connecting rod and you shouldn't be able to make a mistake. There's a lot of different types of bearings, but we're not going to get into that here. We're building a 408 Chrysler stroker. It happens to be a 360. If you weren't with us yesterday, this happens to be a 360 block. This is like a 87 block, 89. And this is a roller lifter block, is what I build with all my motors, as you know, as you could tell if you watched the first episode. So again, let's proceed to where we were going. Ring, again, I take my ring. This is my expander. I put my rails, I set them about 180 degrees apart from the gap there. That's nice. I already know this is gapped. I can take that one easily and put it on. Even putting rings on, I've had people here watching me go, man, you make that look very easy. Well, if you're doing this your whole life, you better have it to make it look easy, otherwise you're working too hard. I'm going to turn that back to 0. Once I touch, then I should be quite close. I feel for an edge. If there's an edge, I take a file and I can file it down. Just take that little bit of edge off. Set that in there. Now we're going for a 20. It's just a little snug yet. You can always take a little bit more off. Go back. That should do it. Again, as you see, I touched that rail right away. I already know what I'm doing here. Been doing it a while. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Put that top rail on. There you go. I just oil the sides a little bit. Again, I don't like to use oil and wash my rings. Here, in front of the side. These expanders, ring expander tools are fantastic. Goes real nice and easy. Notch to notch. Now I'll check my side play. Always have to have side play also. And as we spin it through, we're going to see that what we ground is beautiful, perfect. Plenty of clearance on that connecting rod. And we'll start with another one. To me, there is no other bearing than a Clevite. Well, we went by Molly, Mayhall, however you want to pronounce it. Look for my upper bearing here. Morning, Steve. What's happening?
How are you?
Good. How was your evening?
Not too bad. Yours?
Good.
Looks like you're back on the
Yeah.
Chrysler project here.
Yep. I come in a little earlier than Steve. Again, we like to come in early. It's just the way I am. I'm an early riser. Yeah, motor's coming along real nice.
Looks good. Looks good.
I'm trying to show people a little bit about, how we build some of these engines,
Absolutely.
without getting too sophisticated for them.
I think they'll enjoy this.
I do too. We'll see how it works out, and if that works out, I got another idea. Maybe we'll do a little podcast and let it do a question and answer, providing they don't get too crazy for information, because this is how we make our living.
That's the truth.
Guys are always asking for cam specs. Man, if I gave my cam specs out, that's where it starts.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
We do so much research and development on these motors.
Yeah,
we can't give the full recipe away.
Exactly. We've been working on that one Godzilla airboat engine for over a year and a half.
Absolutely.
We had it perfect, but now we got a big boat here that hits dry ground, and that puts the brakes on it, creates some extra heat. I believe our new design is going to finally hit it perfect.
Perfect.
Nobody in the industry is trying to do what we're doing.
Absolutely not.
1,000
Once we do
horsepower.
it, they're all going to be jealous.
Put it in a big boat and let that thing cruise at God knows how fast, and then hit dry ground and skip across that too.
Yep.
So, you know what? That's what it's all about. People just don't understand that part. They just think, oh, give your information away. Well, really? Why should, it's almost like, I tell this all the time. What happens if you go to a restaurant and the guy's got a steak on the menu? Because I know I got some nice restaurants I like to go to. You know that.
Absolutely.
And, sometimes we're getting $57 for a small filet. Well, what if I tell the guy, hey, isn't it okay if I bring my own meat and you cook it for me? It'd be cheaper. I just want to you cook the steak.
He'd laugh and kick you out.
Or how did you cook it? Give me the recipe to how good that tastes. You try something and say, oh, it is delicious.
Yep.
Would you give me that recipe?
Absolutely not.
What the hell are they going to tell you? Come on.
Yep.
I guess people just don't understand that. They think, well, I'm spending money with you. Can't I have the complete design of your engine? Yeah, I am giving you the complete design. It's done, it's finished, it runs fabulous.
That's exactly right.
I give you a spec sheet, you got Eagle rotating assembly. Think I'm going to tell you everything about the motor? I just don't think. Try it out with a big race engine operation.
Nope.
They'll laugh at you. They're sealed up.
Sealed for a reason.
Sealed for a reason. Back in the day when my brother-in-law used to run Pro Stock, they used to hide the intake design. They used to cover it with sheet metal. You didn't even know where you were putting the intake plenums. Whether you were leaning them back, leaning them forward, how tall. I mean, that's part of the art. This is an art. People don't understand that.
That's it. Stock motors are stock motors.
Exactly. Why do you buy from us? Because we have combinations that are proven to work.
Proven to work.
It's it's funny. It's that simple. I mean, you've been with me since 12 years old, and I know you.
That's it.
And let me tell you something about Steve. You call him, he can build a car right over the phone. But don't expect him to build a car over the phone for you without dropping a dime.
That's the truth.
And ask you for one and building
Again,
one of our motors.
many years of experience and figuring out and trial and error combinations to make the information that's in my head work.
Isn't that funny? How they, everybody wants for nothing. Remember back in the day, guys would call us, I'm going to buy one of your motors, just give me the cam spec. And you know what? 25 years ago, we'd say, gee, okay, yeah. Guy would come by, he just wanted to know what the hell you were building there so he can use it for himself. Man, that cam sounds good. Can I have it?
Yep.
Yeah, right. Same thing with cylinder heads. When we're building something special, we have a certain thing that we're doing with the cylinder head. It's all the spring pressures. Where are you running spring pressures?
It's a complete combination.
It's a complete
MJF is only one small piece to the pie.
Exactly. What about the car itself, Steve? Hit them up with some of that stuff. Can a car kill the horsepower that you give it them?
Absolutely. If the chassis is not tied together correctly to handle the power that's going to be given to it, you eat it all. Flame flex, everything.
What about the trannies that some of these guys want to run?
Same thing. Certain automatic trannies eat a lot more power than others, and that's why there's different trannies designed for different applications. Yeah, today's world, everyone wants a 6 or a 10-speed tranny automatic to go in their package. That's great because it gives you great fuel economy and great drivability, but expect it to starve at least 30% of the power that we give you.
Interesting. Like I said, there's so many aspects in this industry people don't understand. You know, they just think, yeah, what are we? The grease monkeys or something like that? Yeah, we don't know nothing. We might not speak all that well. We're not college graduates or college educated. But my brother-in-law dragged me off a school bus at 13 years old. Every day I'd get off that school bus at 3:30. And I'd work till dark. Maybe whether it's cutting valves, stripping motors. But you know what? Then it became drag racing time. I was sneaking into the pits before I was of age. It was a lot of fun back then. It was cool.
Absolutely.
Of course, did I get abused? Of course I did. I used to call it boot camp.
Boot camp.
It was boot camp. It was funny. But you know what?
That was your real life training. That's why it was boot camp.
Funny. Taught me all about the different machinery and everything else.
Absolutely. Just
And
like
he
you
always-
did. Just like you did with me.
Yeah.
Boot camp, but prepared us for later life. You know?
Yeah.
Those were the good times.
Yeah. Today, sometimes people take things, everybody takes things too seriously. You know, you got to take your time, smell the flowers too.
Absolutely.
You know? But you know what? All in all, we definitely enjoy what we do. And that's
Definitely we do.
really key.
And that's key to making anything successful in life. You got to enjoy what you do.
If you don't enjoy what you do, get the hell out and pick something else, you know?
That's it.
There's a lot of things out there you can do. I love this style, you know. I've gotten a little older. I don't put the hours in, and back in the day, I used to work 6 days a week. That was the norm. I didn't know any better.
True. But
You
you
know.
did your time.
Yeah. But you know what? I can still work, though. You know that.
Absolutely.
Hey, Doug, I need that done quick. Boom. Done. Yeah, it's still a lot of fun. Are we going to go out to Ohio?
Sounds like it. Sounds like we have a few more conversations with a few other guys. And then there's possibly a deal
Brian wants to
going
meet
on.
up with us out there?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I brought it up to him yesterday.
Was he going?
Yes. Actually, yeah, he was asking us me to send. He forgot that me and you and him talked about going out there together. So he'd asked me to send a bunch of stuff up for him to display at his booth that he was going to for the parts.
Is there drag racing out there that weekend?
Well,
too?
that will be. That's what the whole deal is with it.
Cool.
It's like, and then he's talking about something in possible Bowling Green situation, getting something set up there for some Ford deal that they have going on. Him sponsoring some kind of shootout. Maybe possibly we get involved with that as well.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta get my ring file off. We're done with that.
Yeah.
It's all moved up. We're all set.
Sure, bar's looking good.
I'm gonna have to go in the back and locate my heads and figure out the spring pressures on that. Make sure we got this rail is just moving a little bit. You know how it works. Always the last. There we go. But these are great. These versus using a regular expander. You can't use a regular expander today.
Now with
The
today's
rings are
small-
so thin.
Small thin rings.
You know, you'll bend them things just looking at them, you know, so that's why you just got to spend the money and buy all the different bores that you need. Well, I'll get this on and then we're going to torque this motor up and then we're going to move on.
Yeah, I think we'll have to put the brakes on this one for a day or two until that centric comes
Yes,
in.
yes, that I already knew. I said when I put the cam in that
It's on the slow boat from China.
I understand. I got plenty of other stuff to start with. This thing's beautiful. All right, let me start. Put mine toward me. Again, this happens to be the one I use for connecting rods. Same thing. This is snap-on. This thing, when you set it on, it does foot-pounds, inch-pounds, does Newton meters, and angle torquing. These are amazing, and they're not cheap. I mean, they're probably, we paid $1,000 a piece for these things, but you know what? Well worth it. I turn it on. Most of the time we're in the stage, well, except for doing the LSs. All right, we're here. We're gonna take this up. We're gonna take this rod 63 foot-pounds, that is. And again, I'm just telling you how I go about doing something. You have your own way. That's fine. Hey, everybody got their own way of doing something. But you know what? This has worked for us for many, many years. Went 64 on that one. There we go. There we go. There we go. Yep. Yep. Two more. Another thing about these Chrysler small locks, a lot of guys will be wondering, and I know it already, I'll be removing this washer because when you put the pump on, it hits the bottom of the oil pump. So I gotta grind the bottom of the oil pump and check that and make sure that's all good. But you know, again, these are just things, you know, we know, we build these motors, we know where to go. Okay, now I'll take a picture for the customer, show them his short block. Hey, I want to thank you for tuning in this morning, watch me put my pistons in. If you have any comments, that's fine too. We all got our ways of doing something, but you know what? Building motors for probably 50 years now, and I tell you, God's sake, I don't have any rod knockers, and I'll tell you, when there is mistakes made, usually it's on the outside mechanics. Do not want to collaborate with Steve to tell him what you got to do, how to burp a motor, what have you. We got combinations down just like some of the other people. This is our way of doing it. You like the way I do something? Great. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Peace.